the literature talks about how often you should study, how many hours and all that kind of stuff. And I said all-nighters were not a good idea. When you study in large chunks of time, what most experts say about breaking up your time frame is that it's good to do like the way you would do a class, 45 to 50 minutes, and then take a 10 to 15 minute break and then go back to it. It can be challenging if you're a Facebook addict, because sometimes 30 seconds, let me just check real quick, can turn into 2 hours. So I don't know if I would recommend doing Facebook like that, you know, like 5-10 minutes, but you can do other things. You can, and it's good sometimes if you have a group of people that you normally study with. If you are studying by yourself, maybe you're studying by yourself and then that person's studying by themselves. If y'all are kind of on the same cycle, and then when it's time to take your break, then y'all can kind of gather for something like a hokey pokey. And then you go, and then you get done, and then you know, grab your snack and then go back to study. And you do want to, you know, you take breaks, and you know, if you need to go to the restroom. Naps are not a good idea because, again, that 10-minute nap can turn into 2 hours, so I wouldn't recommend that either. And I'm a person who can take, I can take a 15-20 minute nap, but when you're tired, and when, especially if it's something that you don't want to study, then it can be bad. I would recommend that if you have to prioritize the things you study the stuff you don't want to study first. Study the stuff you don't like first, because you know that that'll be done. You won't mind putting the extra effort into the things that you like studying. Everybody likes to study, you know, the things that they're majoring in. But the thing that is more difficult, go ahead and put that on your agenda first, and then you get it out. If nothing else, you can say, I've gotten it out of the way. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments? Are there any study strategies that have worked for y'all that y'all want to share?
I've learned that group study helps out a lot, because if you studying by yourself, a lot of times you be like, I'll study later, let me turn on the TV. But when you got somebody else to hold you accountable, you know, both of y'all studying at the same time, you know, I know that helps with me.
I like study groups. I think you want to be very strategic in who you study with. You want to study with people who are on the same wavelength or better. I like studying with people smarter than me, because it keeps you accountable. You're absolutely right. But you don't want to study with somebody that you're always having to do for them. You want it to be kind of a level playing field. So you set up some times to do that. You get, and really, Henderson at night can be creepy sometimes, because I work over there. They turn the music off. You know, we have a TV screen. They turn the music off, so it doesn't sound like a haunted house anymore, as it used to when they first started turning the TV screen on. But a lot of the classrooms are just open. Sometimes they have classes in there at night, but if you want to do like a small study group, I know sometimes there's that room in the library. They have spaces in there where you can study. Anytime you can get into a classroom or a lounge type situation, you can do that. And so I would encourage you to do that, but you want it to be serious. You want it to be something where, okay, we're going to do this for this amount of time, and that way you feel like you put in some work. So when you break, when you leave the session, you feel like you've accomplished something, and then you go do something else. So yeah, that can be a very good idea if you have the right people. Any other things? And
I was gonna say, I found that if I have a decent understanding, not complete, if I actually tutor someone in the subject, I know it a lot better than.
I was gonna mention something about tutoring. That's a great comment. We got a couple of either tutors or tutors to be in here, and I know that does help you reinforce. It helps you reinforce. I know that that's one of the things I've actually heard Dr. Fox say that the way that he learns things is by teaching it. And so that's always a good idea. If there's somebody that you can kind of demonstrate some things to, that is a great idea. If you are in need of a tutor, and I will say this in defense, because I know you are gonna get requests out the wazoo. If you have, I know you're already overwhelmed. Do not wait until the week before exams to decide you need a tutor. It's probably not likely to happen because I would expect for you to focus on your own studies. And she is not obligated to take you on as a student because she has other people that she's been tutoring all semester. And so taking on new students at the end of November is probably not going to happen. So
what if our tutor never contacted us?
if your tutor never contacted you, we need to know that.
I emailed Ms. Scruggs because me and that tutor weren't working out. She could only meet at a certain time, and I couldn't meet at that time.
Right. And so sometimes that will happen, and then we may have to come up with a plan B, which it may not be a face-to-face situation, but it might be better than not having any help at all. So definitely see me and let me know. If you don't feel comfortable telling me who the person is, then that's okay. We just need to make sure we